we decided to take a 6 weeks trip to Europe. We got in London on Tuesday after Diane's funeral was on Saturday, and we saw many people standing around and a lot of flowers and things. We spent 3 days in London and then went to a condominium north of London for a week. Came back to London, got on the Channel, went over to Paris, and met some friends of ours, the Swayzes, and we spent 3 days in Paris going up the Eiffel Tower and various museums. And then we went up to Giverny because my wife Marlene wanted to see Monet's gardens. We saw those, and then we went to Normandy Beachhead because I wanted to see where the battle was, and we saw all of the cemeteries and all that. And we went on down to Spain to a place called Pensacola, which is between Barcelona and Valencia. And this condominium was right on the ocean, just right across the street. We went up to Barcelona, down to Valencia, and around. And then we were on our way to go up to Garmisch to stay at another timeshare condominium. On Thursday, Marlene got sick, and we headed north. And the farther north we got, the sicker she got. And we got to a little town called Valencia in France, and she was very sick. I went to a drugstore and couldn't make myself understood by the French because they spoke French and I spoke English. And then we went on up to Zurich. I called a doctor in, and he took her by ambulance to Spittelburg, which is a hospital there, where they put her some oxygen into her, and then after 2 days they put her under and had breathing tubes and all kinds of tubes in her. She lived until Friday. My number 2 daughter Molly was over and was with me when Marlene died in the hospital. We had her cremated and brought her home. So the trip to Europe was spoiled, as you can imagine, but she had a wonderful time before she got sick. I was a teacher down in Medford, Oregon, an industrial arts teacher. And there came out a notice that they were going to have a National Defense Education Act Guidance and Counseling Institute at Pullman in Washington State. So I applied for it because I wanted to become a counselor. There were 1,700 applicants, and 2 of us from the state of Oregon were selected. I would go down to the Tri-Cities and do my practicum working with people that we were trying to counsel at the time. While I was there, I finished enough credits and got myself tested so that I could work on my doctor's degree in counseling and guidance. And in the period of that year on the campus and the 3 summers that followed, I finished my doctor's degree in guidance and counseling, and so I've been Dr. Richardson since 1969. When Melinda was 6, and we lived in Medford, we took her over to the Y, and she took swimming lessons, and she turned out to be a very good swimmer. And at 6 years old, won a lot of blue ribbons and did quite well. So the following year, we wanted to get Molly, who was a year younger, started. And Molly was at the shallow end of the pool and was standing there throughout the whole lesson period. The next time we came over, Molly was standing at the edge of the pool, didn't move, standing in water up to her knees. And we were a little bit disgusted. And the 3rd day we went, Molly was standing at the edge of the pool the same way. And all of a sudden she took off and swam across the pool. So what she had been doing in those 3 days was deciding what it took to do it, and in her mind had learned to swim the think method, maybe like the Music Man where they have the think method. Eric had these lessons for a week, and was doing fairly well. The girls belonged to a swim club in an adjacent town, and they were having a match on Sunday. We were there, and Eric was with us. They needed a third person on a relay so that they could compete, and so Eric went in the water and swam on his back across, made it. They got a blue ribbon. So Eric, on his first swim, when he was 5 years old, got a blue ribbon with the family. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die, a real live son of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. But when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they'll steal your heart away. I have a hobby of shooting. I like to shoot pistols and rifles. And so, and my other hobby is boating. I had power boats and I had sailboats. I love to sail. Anyway, that's about where I am. 80 years old, living at Frank Toby Jones' retirement.